What outside of all the travel, what is life like these days?
Uh, it's just, we've gotten in a good rhythm. Being out here, we're pretty regimented with our fitness. So Cooper has kind of been the catalyst for all of us to be on this fitness journey with him. So we've been eating dialed in with our nutrition and walking every day, several miles. We've got this great big hill that we climb and it's kind of a killer at the end of the walk, and so we're doing that. We're spending time swimming in the pool, and but really just kind of focused on getting healthy and feeling good and getting a lot of stuff taken care of.
How are you feeling now? Excited, nervous, as looking forward to next week?
I don't know that I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of our friends and family that are coming into New York for the draft. I'm not really nervous yet. Um, I don't know that it's hit me. Like I say that I never have time to like get nervous because things move so quickly that I'm always like focused on the next thing. And I'm looking forward to a time where I can kind of sit and reflect on all of it. But I don't know. Just it goes too fast, so I'm not really nervous.
As you reflect back, was there a time or a moment when you thought this kid's going to go to the NBA?
Um, I'm not really sure. If there was an exact moment, I mean, for sure, probably in the last couple of years, I kind of was like, okay, yeah, he's going to be able to play in the NBA. Probably after freshman year when they went to Montverde, and I, was watching him there his sophomore year was kind of when I for sure felt like, it was going to happen. I think before that, I knew he was going to be able to play at a high level in college, but I guess never really dared to dream or look too far ahead to the NBA.
It's pretty crazy to wrap your mind around. I'm from Maine, and having this, somebody from Maine who we've all, watched this career unfold. Now having this big moment next week, it is pretty unbelievable for all of us Mainers to see him, watching along. What's it like as his mom to watch?
I mean, it's kind of surreal. He's surprised us at every turn. He's whatever ceiling is above him, he seems to be able to break through and reach another level. And so it's the whole thing is just it's remarkable, but it's a testament of to how hard he, works and the time and the commitment, the dedication that he has to the game of basketball, but to himself as a person, just to be the best that he can be.
And talking about the Ronald McDonald House, thank you for talking. Our station has a partnership, and it's been super exciting this year to go to events and tour and see the work that they do. And I know firsthand you experienced that during a really difficult chapter. So as we go back to 2004, what did the space mean to you at that time?
It was a pivotal time in our lives, obviously, and it was the most difficult time and period. And to have that, that available, that resource for our family was really incredible, and it means so much to us. I don't know how we would have survived it. I refused to leave Portland the whole time that Hunter was in the NICU. And, so it was not really a possibility for me to travel back and forth because I wanted to be as close as I could. And there were many times where, while we were there, we got phone calls from the hospital saying, we needed to come over, or something had happened and we needed to, have a meeting with the medical staff or whatever. So I can't imagine if I was, all the way up in Newport and that hour and a half drive would have seemed like an eternity to get there. So just being able to be close, and to be able to spend every day with him and, make sure that he knew that we were there, even if he didn't understand, was just really, really important. And we made some of the best friends of our lives there, other families who were in similar situations, um, maybe not exactly the same, but we were all bonded through that. And so I think that's one of the things that the Ronald McDonald House also offers that people don't realize is like the fellowship of other people who, are having similar battles and dealing with similar health issues of a family member. And so it means a lot to us. It's really important that, as our family has been blessed in many that we give back as much as we can and as often as we can, or find ways to make sure that the Ronald McDonald House charity is highlighted um, in any way that we can help.
Well, I know they love your family and appreciate all the support, certainly. And so after that visit in 2004, you had another stay there as well, from what I hear, when Cooper was born. Cooper and Ace were born. What was that? How did you find your way back there once again?
So when I was pregnant with Ace and Cooper, I was a lot further along and but I was at high risk. And so I was admitted to the hospital at Maine Med and um I was there I think 2 weeks before they were born, and Hunter was 2 at the time, and my husband was doing his best, kind of traveling back and forth from Newport. He worked in the Portland area, and so he was there often. But also, Hunter was staying with my mom and dad up in Newport, and around the time that the twins were delivered, a spot came open at Ronald McDonald for Hunter and Ralph to stay there while I was in the hospital with the twins. And then when I was discharged, I was able to join them at the house until the twins were ready to go home, which luckily this time was a much shorter stay, and we're very thankful for that. But again, RMHC was very, very important.
And so it seems like you've always had a strong bond with your boys and dedicated and traveled around, whether Newport to Portland or at this point all over the country. Do you think those early days were really pivotal bonding moments that you had, or talk about your bond that you have now with the boys?
I mean, I think, we worked really hard to bring them into the world and, get them here healthy and safely. And but I think all parents have special bonds with their kids, or most parents, I won't say all. Um, but I definitely have always appreciated, having them. And I know how fortunate we are to have 3 healthy, strong young men now. And it's just been a privilege to be their mom and to watch them grow up and become successful young adults.
So how is your life going to change? Do you envision after Cooper goes to the NBA, Ace is obviously going to be in school back in Maine here. What do you have planned as far as where you're going to live and how you're going to split your time? Have you figured that out yet?
We're working on it. TBD is what I'll say. There's a definite plan to have a presence in whatever city Cooper ends up in, and we definitely will have a presence near the University of Maine, as both Hunter and Ace will be there next year. And so I'm sure we'll be splitting our time and doing a lot of traveling.
How do you feel about Texas?
I love Texas. It's a beautiful state. I love the weather and I love the people. We have a lot of great friends that are in Texas. and maybe we'll be visiting them.
Anything else about Ronald McDonald House or your time there that you think is important for, I mean, I wasn't really that familiar with the organization before our station started this partnership. I mean, what would you want people to know most about as somebody who's benefited from that organization?
I think, that there are a lot of ways to be a volunteer at Ronald McDonald House. And I think, a lot of people look for volunteerism and ways to give back. So that's a great cause. I think, people don't realize that the Ronald McDonald House services families with children that are undergoing not just like mine who were premature, but there's a lot of and there's Ronald McDonald houses all over the country. And it really, I think, depends on the hospitals that are nearby and what kind of services they provide. But in Portland, there were families there with other preemies that were in the NICU. There were families there who had um, children who had been in accidents or had some sort of trauma and brain injuries that they were trying to recover from. And so it's not just for premature babies, but families with children that are battling lots of diseases and other issues. And it's a great resource.
And so from what I'm hearing, there's several draft night parties happening, and those proceeds are going to RMHC. Was that a decision that your family made?
I mean, the people that reached out to us and told us that they were interested in doing a party, anything that is, done on behalf of our family or in Cooper's name, we're very mindful that the proceeds are going to a good cause. That people aren't out there just benefiting off his name. And so it makes sense. And everybody in Maine is so great, and they know that RMHC is really important to us. So they all came to us and said, "Hey, we want to do this draft party because we want to celebrate Cooper, and we would like to donate the proceeds to Ronald McDonald, and it's perfect for us." So we're super happy that everybody, gets it and knows what our family is about and what's important to us.
And so as we wrap up, obviously the sense of giving back and caring about the community is important to you. What are your hopes for Cooper, not just as a basketball player, but as a young man?
My hope is that he continues to be kind, caring, and giving. That's, really what's most important and what I'm most proud of. I love that he's a great basketball player and gets a lot of accolades, and we're very, very proud of that. But who he is as a person, nothing makes me more proud than when people, pull me aside and tell me how kind and how generous he is because he truly is a good person.
What's something about him that only a mother would know?
He can't sing. He's not very musical, and he can't carry a tune. Not at all. It's
Guess
bad.
I guess you can, you can't have everything.
Right.